really happy in that picture, made me smile. And I'm very aware that we just sat through a talk on food. Lunch is coming up, so I will try and be quite quick, quite fast with it. So I have the pleasure today of introducing you to the My Melanoma project, which we've been running out of Oxford now for about 2 years. It's a very ambitious project. We are open to all those who have had all the types of melanoma, no matter what the stage or anything like that. So yes, we are very ambitious. We are. I'll speak for you today a bit about what we've done so far, what we're planning to do, and how those with uveal melanoma might be a bit more of a feature in the future. Sorry about the speech thing, by the way, it's very annoying. So I'd like to start by speaking a bit about how this whole project came to be. So My Melanoma began by patients for patients. In particular, Imogen Cheese and Sean Guinness, who, after having melanoma and then all the treatment and then luckily coming out the other side, got together to think of something, how can they give back to the people that helped to save their lives, and what can we do to help those who have been in similar situations? So they went and spoke to their clinicians, Mark, who Joe mentioned, and also Professor Newton Bishop up in Leeds, and thus My Melanoma was born. And when we were designing the project, what we really wanted to, because this all came in, off the back of the pandemic, was, are we able to design a study that can perhaps address some limitations with accessibility that might have happened in traditional studies? So to answer that question, we are completely online based, so you don't need to go into a hospital or your GP or university in order to participate in our study. So that there is our homepage on the website, where you can learn lots of information about what we do, what we plan to do, and we hope you will go up and hit the big red button in the top corner, and you will join us in this mission as well. And this way of conducting research really offers lots of advantages, both to us as researchers, but also you as participants. This idea of improved accessibility, so no longer do you have to live near a university or a hospital that is engaging in research. You can take part in this wherever you live. All that you need is a Wi-Fi connection and a phone or a computer, and you can take part in the whole study. For us as researchers, you can reach lots of people very quickly. So I think, and I'm sure the professors who sat over there will say, I think we're on the track to become the largest ever study in this area. I'm sure I'll be corrected if that's not the case, but yes, as we're all online, you can reach lots of people very, very fast. And we have this idea of real-time collection of data. So rather than in a traditional study, when you sign up, you give lots of data right at the start, and that's kind of it. we can kind of keep that going throughout the whole time that we're running. And also, you can get in touch with us via the website, which is that's a cool thing to do. I think it's like a nice niche thing. But above all, this way of doing research really helps to reduce all the burden on you in order to participate. So no longer do you have to wake up early, drive to hospital, get a parking space, take time off work, find childcare, everything else, just to take part in research. So what does taking involve? What does taking part involve? When you sign up, we will ask you to do two they're quite extensive, but they're quite vast. 2 questionnaires which look at lots and lots of topics, so lots of diet, lots of exercise, like these kind of questions to get the overall picture of your specific conditions. We'll also keep asking, of course, about your melanoma, so your treatment history, any side effects that you might have had. Throughout the consenting process, we'll also ask if we can access any information that's stored by the NHS about you. Of course, you don't have to agree to that if you don't want to. We heard a bit earlier about liquid biopsies. As we progress in the study, we hope to begin at-home sample collection, which is quite cool. So we send, rather than you going into a hospital, we send this blood kit to your home, and it's like a little device that you put on your arm, hit the button, and wait for a few minutes, and then it gets a small sample of blood, which you then send back to us in the post. Quite cool. If you've had samples for your regular treatment and they're no longer needed for any reason, we will ask if we can get hold of those as well, just to repurpose them. So rather than them being thrown away, we can use them for research too. And then a little bit further down the line, we can send you follow-up questionnaires, and we can offer you future chances to be involved in research. And all of this data, because there's quite a lot, we're going to hold in a secure database down in Oxford. And in the future, we want to make all of that data available for researchers around the world. So think of this not as a traditional study, but more as a platform for future research. And the main thing about all of this is you can decide how much you'd like to participate. So you can do the questionnaires, but not the samples. You can do the samples, but not the questionnaires, et cetera, et cetera. It's all down to you. So what could we learn? Well, with 20,000 participants, we can begin to look at questions that we might not have been able to look at before in more traditional studies, mainly due to the large numbers. And with all the data from the last slide, of which there's loads, what we can learn is incredibly vast. So this is just kind of 4 examples. We can look at who's at risk by looking at genetic data. We can look at what really influences melanoma from all the food and the diet, all the exercises, family history, all of that. Like, that can build a big picture. quality of life, looking at life after you get the diagnosis and all the way through to coming out the other side of it. And we can use all the information from the samples that we collect to maybe find out some new all the biomarkers. But what's really cool and kind of the unique point of this project is we want to flip that question, what can we learn, back to all of you. So what are the research questions that really matter most to those who are really affected by this disease? And I'm happy to say that we've begun this practice. So literally kind of like 3 weeks ago, we asked 350 people who were within the study what research areas do they prioritize. And you can see kind of the two out in front, down at the bottom. Lots of people want to know kind of what treatment led to what outcomes, what treatments led to a chance of reoccurrence, and also the best chance for survival. And lots of people also want to know about maybe better ways that we can detect melanoma a bit earlier and a bit faster. And we will use this and we will ask more and more people to develop the research questions that we do in the future. So this idea of democratizing research, which is quite kind of a nice phrase. How's it going? Pretty well, I'd say, so far. So we're on 15,300 participants, which already makes us the largest study in this field in Europe. You can see we're quite heavily South England based, so it'd be good to kind of spread that more up the country. Felt like a weather person there for the first time. And a big part of this was because we were lucky enough to win a contract with the NHS back in December 2023. And through this, we were piloting their new recruitment service. They sent out about 120,000 letters to lots of people who met our criteria throughout all of England, which is why this is very green and that's very green, and you can barely see Northern Ireland. So that's great. That's really great. But it's not all been great, because there's a big problem that we've had. And that is, for reasons which were outside of our control, NHS England were not able to send letters to those with ocular melanoma, which was very annoying. And we did try and get them, but it's to do with the way that they found those people with the coding, I believe. So there's lots to do. So increasing this population will be a big priority of ours in the future. We also want to expand our cohort geographically, so get to Wales and Scotland and Northern Ireland. We want to begin to develop more research questions based on the feedback that we've got, which I'm happy to say we are doing. We want to ramp up our at-home sample collection and also begin to make this data accessible around the world to really boost on all the research which could happen in this area. And that's me. That's the website. You can get in touch. You can also scan the QR code, which will lead you to the website. And it would be great if some of you could sign up. That'd be amazing. Thank you very much. Thank you.